Henderson has done a bit of running in that, and is probably 50-50. He'd have to pull up really well, so he's probably unlikely, but it could go that way. Waite will be another week. Dygan will be another week. Yaron will play. It hasn't responded the way we'd like, and it was one of those things that he's done a fair bit of work, so do we push him earlier in the week to try and get him up, or allow it at sort of a 2 week? So we've taken a different tact with it, so it's sort of now, I think, up to the medicos and that to keep going. So they've set a plan for him. Hopefully he gets up for the Cats, but he's missed a bit of footy, so that will become the next, I suppose, conversation is where do we play him if he is right, because we don't know when he's going to be right at the moment, and we'll just have to wait and see. We've got a bit of work in certain areas of the game. I think 50 inside 50s against was probably a bit too much when we dominated stoppages. So to concede that much, a bit of our ball use going inside. But I was really pleased with the contested ball and the clearances. I think it was an area that we weren't going so well, and to have some players come into the team and really perform the way they did. Brock McLean was outstanding in that area of the game. So we were really pleased with that point of the game. At the end of the day, we kept them to 49 points. I think we have to, learn too to be a bit patient and be happy with just grinding out a win. I think if everyone keeps coming to the games of football and expect, all the time flair and beautiful play, it's not going to happen. And the competition is making it more contested, and the games are becoming more contested. So I think, we have to be more patient as a coaching group, as a playing group, as supporters, as team, even from a media's point of view. We've kicked 100 plus and kept our opposition under 50. What more do you want when you leave the game? We're scoring 100 points. So if you score 100 points and keep your opposition under 50, we're happy with that every day of the week. That's a good result. And Collins is still a test, from his injury. It looks like he'll get up, but we came out of the game with no injuries, which is a first for a while. Well, we're not. I think that's probably just the change of the mindset of everyone around. I think to be able to play, the game on your terms and allow people just to play it exactly the way they want, it would be outstanding for us. But it doesn't happen that way. So I think we need to be patient in regards to, if we have to play a little bit slower or we have to play a little bit more contested, I think we have to take that on board. And at the end of the day, the journey or the aim for the team is to go out there and win 4 points. And if we've got some KPIs about scoring and scores against, so offensively and defensively, and if we hit all those, I don't think we've got much to complain about. Yeah, they're up. Their third quarter was brilliant against the Gold Coast, and just to see the way they ran that game out against the Kangaroos and the spirit they had, Schultz is probably close to the best forward in the comp at the moment, the way he's going about it. 7 straight 2 weeks ago, getting a lot. Pearce is back to his best. Boak, I think, was voted the best player by the coaches. So there's some things that I think we'll have to be really mindful of, those blokes getting their hands on the ball and their forwards marking it. Oh, we think so. I think 50's not horrible, but I just thought we could have been a little bit better defensively. To just reduce that to about 45. We're talking nearly 1 a quarter. It's not over the top, but I think we as a group could probably just be a little bit sharper in that area of the game. Yeah, that's right. It's not, I suppose it's becoming serious because of the length that he's out for, but, it's something that's, probably frustrated. He's tried to set his season up with a great pre-season and, we took it a little bit slower with him, changed a couple of things, got himself into a great position to play well, gave him a rest, and then he plays his first game back, or he was getting a bit sore, but I think we gave him an opportunity to freshen up so he could get through and maintain a full season of football, and now he's had this interruption as well. I'd say if you looked at that, you would say yes. I think that's something that we're really mindful of getting him back. I think when you're trying to get to the pointy end of the season, getting your best players and your talent out in the field is so critical. But, we've got a few blokes that aren't playing at the moment, and I think it's good for our group people to grab opportunities and to see McLean grab his last week, Joseph come back and play the way he did. Bootsma, that was his first game because he played 1 quarter of football against GWS. I thought he was very good and just grew. So we might find out about a lot of our players that we have around the football club in the next 2 to 3 weeks if we're waiting for Crazzo and these blokes. But they might make it hard for some other players to stay in the team as well. Oh no, I think just the way the group and opportunity. I think last year Robertson coming in and playing the way he did probably took away Brock's position, and he was in really good form. I just think sometimes it's opportunity, and in Brock's defence, sometimes we've played him as the sub, and that's made it hard for him as well. So it's not just the player didn't perform. It is hard when you've been back in the VFL system to come in and just flick a switch and get going. So it's really good to see him play to his strengths and play so well. And maybe we got it wrong a little bit after the Essendon game when clearances weren't going as well as we'd like, and he had 8 in that game. So, that was something that maybe we should have kept pursuing, the opportunity for Brock to keep continuing winning those clearances, because that might have helped us in the St Kilda game, the Adelaide game. It might have been the difference. Yeah, I thought it went pretty well. I was really pleased with Warnock played 75% or 73%, and just his influence on the game. I thought it allowed us to do a few more things with Cruiser, which is good tactically, and Hampson looked like he probably after the first 15 minutes gave us a real target in that front 50, which is something that we started to release the ball, more to his advantage than probably earlier in the game. No, we'll keep pushing it. Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's a great opportunity. We can manage workloads then for those big men. So, I think it's something that we want to keep pushing along. I think we need to push the boundaries with it to how far it goes, and then I think there'll be an opportunity to say, I suppose managing a list is so critical, so maybe it might be time for one of them to come out of the team to, manage him. But I think it's something that we should push along with. I think time will be the big one for us. Has it been successful? Hasn't it? How do we use it? Can we, use Matthew in other areas, not just ruck and forward? That might be something that we pursue as well. Maybe, centre half back, on ball. There might be other things that we can do in games to allow us to achieve that. Yep. Oh, he's a very good player, Travis. We've got to try and combat him this week. So, it's something that if he was prepared to come home, we'd be very interested to have a chat with his management and see if he would be interested to come across. But that's something that Andrew McKay will chase, behind the scenes, and list management group will sit down and we'll earmark some players and pursue them if they're keen to come home or change state. Yeah, it's probably not my. I haven't done the count. I'm trying to count 4 points coming our way, not the salary cap position at the moment. But I think we could go close, depending on what type of figure we're talking. But I think we have some room to manoeuvre there if someone popped up, and it's always the way, isn't it? When you say, "Oh, we haven't got much room," or "We have got a lot." Depending on the person and your needs, if you really need that person, I think you can sometimes make that room, can't you? So, depending on the person, not really, until you land them. So then it's like saying that you're allowed to go to the show, but there was no tickets available. So as soon as you get in the door, or that person walks in the door, I think it's very exciting. But until you can do a lot of work behind the scenes, pursuing players and talking and things like that, and not many come through. So it's sometimes you spend a lot of time for not much reward, but when they do come through, when you talk about a Chris Judd or someone like that, Robbie Warnock, that's really exciting for the football club. I don't listen to any of the footy shows and don't listen to them, but so when players don't celebrate, they're not excited and not enthusiastic, and when they celebrate, they're over the top. It's a fine line, isn't it? So I'd imagine Paul would have critiqued all the games and put a fair bit of comparison in between Mitch and Eddie's ones, did he? Well, Mitch hasn't kicked a lot of goals this year. I'd probably challenge Mitch to play well, personally, and I thought he delivered fantastic, and Eddie kicked 5, and I think, we just lost 2 games in a row, so if there's a bit of excitement, I think you can always manage the way you do it, and there's a correct way, but I think our boys were pretty chuffed that they were starting to play well personally, I think, and that's why and they're very close mates, Eddie and Robbo as well.